All right, everyone. Now, watching Prometheus, we're going to start with Kyle, since these are the beginning of our first experiment with you, watching movies that you've never seen. What are your thoughts on Prometheus?
I absolutely despise David.
It's not meant to be.
Very early on, you were just like, I don't like David anymore.
There was something about him. I just didn't like him. And then people... I wanted to say this whole movie as a whole is just a bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. Until you rolled into the worst decision when you let him fuse and become a fucking whatever that thing's called at the end of the movie. So, moral of the story, people don't know how to turn left, and the whole movie was not great. No.
Okay, so you did not like the movie.
I'm gonna go with like on a level of
Scale of 1 to 5.
like 4, and that's pushing it.
That you liked it?
No, that you like. No, what 5 being the greatest,
Oh,
1 being the worst.
Oh, I thought there was a scale of 10.
Oh no,
Go
no.
to 10. Go to 10.
Okay, yeah, go to 10 then. So 4.
4.
Okay.
Where it sits.
Okay.
The universe is interesting. There are some like cool ideas laid out, but as far as story structure for like what is going on, there was 2 ships. Why were there 2 ships?
You have to know the Alien and Aliens are so much better.
Okay, but I don't.
Yeah, that is it. We didn't start him here.
Yeah, this is an individual movie, and when they set it up, they're literally like, "This is not Alien."
I'm
just back in the.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying don't give up on it.
Oh yeah, I guess it's saying.
So, people made terrible decisions again and again. And that's kind of where I'm at with it is like, I don't know if that was just the horror, like, movie trope or...
I was going to say, if we ever get into horror movies with you, you're really going to be like, why are you going in the barn?
They even had that trope where she tripped. Like,
But that's a good point, because all the Alien movies, to some level, are horror films. And they're not this bad.
Yeah, and the tentacle monster fusing with the humanoid guy, and that was... I don't know what the fuck we're... Like, how did that make that thing?
Okay, so and
I did not influence him, by the way.
I understand.
More humanoid.
Because this is the same exact thing you and I talked about at Nerd Locker a long time ago.
Okay, so rewatching it, it's all just chance, but that's the whole thing that David's doing the whole movie is just experimenting. So none of it is planned out. It all just happens the way it happens. Where I think you wanted more reason. You wanted like...
Well, my problem is... Well, I'm sorry, because we didn't hear from James, who has never seen it before either.
It's okay.
All right, so...
Okay, yeah, all right then. Thank you, James.
It wasn't... No, I'm going to talk about this. Individual scenes and shots were really good. Like, the visual identity of this film is great. Everything else sucks. It's like...
a lot of cum jokes.
Okay, that was entertaining. But it's like... Everything else just sucks. There was so much they could have done with the security footage or building up more mystery, but it's like, no, everybody dies and makes bad choices. It's like, you could have done more with the mystery, you could have done more with the God is dead stuff, but no. It's just people make bad decisions and there's an old guy.
So, before the day started, there were 2 people that really liked this movie and 1 who hated it. And now I've recruited 2 more people.
To your side, yeah. Like
this.
you really knocked it out of the park with that.
And that legitimately was not my point.
I understand. No, I'm just...
This was legitimately
So rewatching it, your opinion has changed 0.
I will say, the first time I saw it, there was a lot of expectation. Because the trailer was amazing. Like, I loved the trailer to this.
Oh, the trailer, I remember we were all super hyped for it.
And seeing the press screening, I was so stoked because, yes, they were media was saying, no, it's not Alien, whatever. It's like, that's fine. It's cool. It's still Ridley Scott is making a movie that is dealing with something from the Alien franchise, which is the engineers. Cool. That was exciting. When I saw, like, credits roll, movie was over, I saw it with Kelly, I was like, this is the worst fucking movie I've ever seen. Like, I hate this movie. I hate that it's in the alien world. I hate it.
Would you say this is sort of the start of his hit or miss?
No, he's had that to me. Ridley Scott, to me, has had that in his whole career, hit or miss. But I will say it went from being the worst movie I've ever seen to maybe a 3 or 4, like with Kyle. It was all right. It's slow. There's a lot of dumb decisions that build onto it. I've seen Covenant since then, so I feel like that was better.
Okay.
and then it was telling more of the story that I wanted to hear.
Yeah, okay. No, and I have questions at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, what were the little fucking snake queer things?
It's just the first, like, version 1 of what evolves from the xenomorph.
Which is part of my problem because they're like, okay, so all these things have to happen in order to get that xenomorph created.
Yeah.
Except that all the engineers are dead by the time we get to the facehuggers and all that in Alien. Spoiler alert, there's xenomorphs. And that... So wait a minute,
they show up again.
How could these things then exist if all these things... A woman has to get pregnant from a dude who was infected from the black...
No, but I
they
think it
got,
was
and then-
just by happenstance. It
But
was
that-
just,
how did it... But it repeated itself with the next movies.
but there's no xenomorph. Like, that's how the xenomorph gets born. That wasn't their original intention. They're building something to send to Earth just to wipe everybody out.
Right, but that we saw the first evolution of the xenomorph at the very end there.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. All those
Don't
things
they
had to
kind of-
happen to create.
But I don't think that was their goal.
No,
They
that's
weren't-
not.
But I'm not saying that was
wasn't
the goal. But I'm
Yeah.
saying the xenomorphs that we see in the rest of the franchise.
Yeah.
We saw the prototype for it in this.
Yes.
So all these weirdo things had to happen to create that thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how does that happen in the rest of the movies? Because those circumstances don't exist ever again.
Somebody
more
visits that planet. That xenomorph infects somebody with an egg, and then they go someplace else, and that's the beginning of Aliens.
Okay, well, that was my next question: is where? How does
It's
the
all, it is.
xenomorph get off
It's
the planet?
pure happenstance.
Because that was my next question: is how does the xenomorph get off that planet if that they took off?
I mean,
the
someone
ship?
comes in.
Jarrell
many
comes
ships.
in and saw that the planet's going to explode, decides to put that thing
No,
in the
that's
shuttle,
Brainiac.
shoots it at the Nostradamus
There's
or whatever.
many ships. It's an installation, so there's many ships.
Yeah, and somehow that thing's sentient, so it can drive a ship.
It just jumps.
So it's David's fault.
Always.
Yes.
Okay.
It just
Now that
jumps.
is something that I did not remember.
Okay, but it is-
David literally set everything off with that.
Yeah.
I get
Don't
that.
you think it's sort of kind of poetic that they're trying to find out why their creators created them and then try to destroy them?
Well, I like the idea,
Whereas
but
they kind of get their answer by creating this shitstorm.
I like the idea,
This is why we tried to destroy you.
but I can't
because-
stand how they played it out.
I get what you're saying. Like your logic for not liking it makes more sense to me. But I'm in the boat of it was just a bunch of weird shit that happened, and we ended up with this. Like, it wasn't intentional.
But then we have like two things going on with the two dudes who stayed behind, and then they got infected by something, yes, the same, but different, and a different reaction. It was like, well, what the hell is that?
See,
Like, what's the point?
that's what I thought their original creation was they were just going to release that on Earth,
Yeah.
and then it was
I
going to
think so.
infect some people, and they get violent,
They would all
and
be
everything
destroyed.
would just be
I think
destroyed
you're
of
right.
everybody.
But
But
that's why the xenomorph idea is like, well, that's
really, the only thing that fucks it up is her getting pregnant.
well,
If she doesn't get pregnant, it's just a thing that destroys people.
exactly. So how do the xenomorphs continue in the rest of the franchise?
Yes.
Cal?
It's kind
Okay, so
Yes.
on
Cal
the
before.
timeline scale, so I'm assuming that there's the xenomorph is timeline 1, right? That xenomorph goes on to create the rest of the franchise,
You
right?
mean the one on this planet?
Yeah.
We don't know. We
Okay.
never say that again. It's never dealt
So my other
I think
thought
it's
process is where is there timeline 2 that hasn't been explored where the bitch and David go, or
with. That's the
That's the
sequel
sequel.
called Covenant.
Covenant.
And it's literally
They
Alien
address
Covenant.
it in Covenant.
okay? Because I was like, I feel like they just
wanna
said
hear
something
something
and
else
went
about
this way,
Covenant?
and they're like, oh, we didn't continue that timeline.
You want to hear something else about Covenant? Your
Uh,
favorite characters in it.
David's back.
David's head.
Not just one.
Towards
Yeah.
the head. He's in it.
I just.
Now these two,
And then
happened
the
before-
spin-off series is called Two Davids.
So
Two
this,
and a half days.
this does
Two and a
take
half
place
days.
before Alien,
Okay.
and then Aliens makes another significant jump in time.
To like year 3000 something.
Kind of, because she was in cryosleep for a long time.
Well, I feel like every movie is a pretty big jump.
Exactly.
Wait, okay, so I have seen the one scene where she fucking, she kicks the xenomorph
The
into
bitch.
space, like the
Yeah, that's the
with the
first
tractor thing. Okay,
No, that's the second one.
That's second. That's Aliens.
It happens in the first one too.
so
Yeah.
It kind of is a.
with that, is that woman that was in that suit the woman that went off with David?
No.
No.
Okay, I thought
No,
that
because
was the
that's like
same.
hundreds of years later.
Okay,
And
That's
she's not.
Ripley.
Yeah, that's Ripley. She's not a scientist. She's just a. It is
Just a
scavenger
badass.
ship, right?
Just a badass.
I think
That's
they're
what it
transform-
is.
I thought I thought they
Don't,
were
I think a mining ship or something.
Oh, maybe it is a mining ship. Yeah,
In the first one.
yeah, the very first one.
Which would make sense why it's dingier and grodier because they're like a.
That's what my only issue is. Just everything in this movie feels.
But it's
so
a science.
much more
Yeah, but it's
But
a
if you go to
science
the
ship.
James Cameron version, things are cleaner. It's a military ship.
Yeah.
The technology's better. Like the helicopter thing, they fly down to the.
I'm not even
planet.
saying in terms of it's just there's more capabilities here.
Yeah, it does look like the. I haven't seen the rest of them, so I guess I probably shouldn't say what I was going to say.
Kyle goes home and watches all of them this weekend.
Just
He's
buttons
like-
all of them.
Well, just
He's
know
like,
that
babe, make some coffee. We're watching all the alien movies.
The aesthetics of Alien and Aliens are very 70s and 80s. So knowing that and then coming to this, it's...
You could use the George Lucas explanation that the reason why A New Hope and all those.
I'm just
are
enjoying this
because
it's making Jimmy defend it.
because
And
so 1, 2,
they've
and 3
switched-
was at the height of technology, and then they went down when it was the guy.
For those watching, we have briefly switched sides where Chase is now criticizing the movie and Jimmy is
I
defending
never
the
said I
movie.
can't be critical.
We
I can
are,
still enjoy it.
we have switched sides.
Anyway,
I can be critical.
This is when the bad guy for a second helps out the good guy. And he's like, I'm doing it because I have to.
I'm pretending this is a Star Wars movie because there was a Star Wars actress in it, or a Marvel movie because there were at least 2 Marvel people in it.
Oh yeah, Wong
versus
has
a-
one line. That was crazy.
Yeah, he was in there.
Yeah.
Wongers.
Wongers.
So, overall, thumbs down from you. Thumbs down from you.
I give it like
Let's
a
give a
5
rating out of 10. Out of 10, you said 4?
Out of 10, 4 is where I'm sitting.
James?
4 or 5. It exists.
Brandon?
I give it like a 6 or 7. Like, it's not the greatest movie ever,
Chase?
but I enjoyed
I
it.
give it a solid 8.
I'll give it an IV.
And I have an IV.
It does need
But
an
I will
IV
say,
because it
literally,
is
and I know
looking
it's going to
bad.
make you mad, not counting Alien vs. Predator, this is my least favorite Alien movie.
I will say.
Even Resurrection and Part 3.
Oh, no, that's rough. That's a hot
I
take.
will,
That's a hot take.
and I'm not just
'Cause,
saying
man,
it'll be me or
look,
I'm
like
not-
I said to him-
Which is the one where it's a clone of
I'm-
Ripley and
Going for
oh
Resurrection.
man, you like that more than this?
Yes,
Yes.
that was far better than this.
Ron Perlman, man? And the
Okay.
dude with the gravelly voice from Three Musketeers? Fuck yeah.
Graggly voice, man.
Look, I fully realize
Was that the one with
it's
Call?
nowhere near perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, and
But
Cole
there's
was in it.
enough in it that I enjoy.
I
that's
reserve the
fair.
right to reevaluate this number if the rest of the franchise adds enough context for it to make sense.
Well,
This did
Covenant.
get better when I saw Covenant.
He was
I
say.
avoided Covenant for years because I hated this. And I think I called Brandon.
Yeah, he was actually like
I
actually.
saw Covenant. Oh,
He goes,
God.
it helped it out, but Prometheus still sucked. Was I think
And
the
it's
text.
It's whatever you do, don't again. Alien and Aliens are their own thing. They're fucking perfect.
No,
No, they are
this
great
is
movies.
the universe of Alien, but this is not representative of
Those two.
those 2 movies.
Those
And-
two are fucking iconic.
And
they're really great.
I'm coming at this from the context of Aliens 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the context from those fills in some spots, but then everything else is like, what the hell is going on?
So
You
So,
count Alien vs. Predator.
This is
context
technically
helps
5.
just a little bit.
6 would be the sequel to this,
Just
and
a
then
little
Alien versus Predator. So there's 8 movies total.
So it's all dependent
Now,
on
fun fact,
Old Ridley.
Ridley Scott literally was inspired to make the first Alien movie because he saw Star Wars. He was supposed to make like Isolde and something that was a Shakespeare, and he's
It's
like,
funny because George ripped off Frank Herbert.
he did not, because Dune sucks.
Actually-
Actually,
balls.
Dune does
The
suck.
book too, buddy.
Somebody
Now,
I saw.
you said he ripped off Akira Kurosawa. Yeah,
yes.
okay, I got you.
Somebody said
so-
Dune is Star Wars for people who listen to Tool. And
Because that was
I-
so tools.
that checks out so hard.
So literally, Ridley Scott saw Star Wars and like, oh my god, I can make movies like that.
Did
So
anyone
he switched
in here even
And
see
went
the
to
Dune movies?
Aliens.
What did
I
he
know.
make?
I read
I
the
like
first
it.
half of the book. And it
No,
was
that was his.
I like
Why
that
did
was
I watch
his
the
first
movie?
like
Did you see
big
the second
First
one?
one.
that I know of offhand.
I'm about to.
Okay.
But since then, he's gone up like back and forth with just sci-fi, drama, action. He's really talented, but to me, he's got a lot of hip misses.
He did the
Who?
Ridley
1984 Apple commercial.
Okay.
That really
He did The
was-
Martian with Matt Damon
Not my
Oh,
favorite
movie
Martian
version.
with Christopher Lloyd.
and Bond.
but-
Oh, Bond was in that one too.
Yeah, he was.
That's funny.
Okay, so now that we've watched this movie,
Mhm.
you've given it your score. When we do this again, do you want to pick a genre that we pick a movie from?
I think for
Or do you
me,
still want to leave
it's-
it up to our discretion?
I think it's more of just like toss it up. Because if
Okay.
I have no expectation or no like context or any like
Okay,
whatever,
I like
That's a
that
good
too.
point.
And next time
for Blade Runner, I don't know what it is.
well, we should write a list of movies like just
Well, that was the
all.
interesting thing because Brandon and I were talking about what we would show first, and we originally thought Alien.
Yeah.
And I can't remember why we came to this
Well,
one.
because
Oh,
Prometheus, we're like, because all we've done is argue about this fucking movie for the last
Yeah.
10 years.
So we'll just watch it
So we'll
together
just
and-
watch it together and get it out of the way.
I'll turn you to the dark side.
Why don't we think about movies that...
I was afraid, though, this was going to end and I was going to go, that really sucked. And I was like,
Don't worry, I was the other way. I was like, oh my god, what if I like this?
Why don't we pick a movie every time that at least one person hates?
That's pretty.
Well, that'd be easy
funny.
for me.
yeah, he gets all the
I'm
movies.
saying, take that into
The
consideration.
next movie we're watching is Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. So get
So
ready.
you
to
come
get
up
ready.
with
Actually, we should watch that. That was good.
Type it
Paul
into the
Blart, Paul
messenger
Blart?
and see, hey, does anyone hate this?
All right. Well, any final thoughts, opinions, words, anything?
don't fucking watch this movie. Dude.
Oh my god, don't watch it.
The army's growing. I love it.
All right, well,
It exists.
that's it for our first round,
So that was
everybody.
Jimmy's favorite movie.
Thanks for watching, and just watch out for the next one we do.
Something.
Nerd
And
out.
next time, there won't be as many technical issues.
That's not. We can't promise that.
Don't say things like that.
Next time we might have more technical issues or less.
We were
Actually-
simply mirroring the events of Prometheus.
Exactly.
How fucked up it got.
We could have the same amount of issues,
Yeah.
or more or less. So we'll just see what
We
happens.
just
Exactly.
proved we made bad
It's up to
decisions.
you guys. Really.
Yeah, it really is up to you guys.
Hey, and that's a good point. If you guys want to recommend a movie that we might want to watch, let us know. Kyle's pretty much a blank slate,
Pretty much.
unless it's anime. Thank God.
And I will not watch Madam Web, I swear. to God.
Oh my god! Actually, the only time I'd watch Madam Web is if we do it here.
Yes.
Okay,
Madam
so
Web. Madam
We'll all
Web.
be a slave,
hey,
but
when
Kyle's like, fuck yeah!
Chase, when you get the steelbook for that one,
I'm not
yeah,
wasting
come
fucking
on.
money on that.
I'm getting him a Christmas present. I'm getting him the steelbook of Madam Web.
Madam Web. You could buy like the action, like Mobius.
Like the box set.
Oh,
What am I
They'll
telling you?
all be out at that time.
Oh my gosh.
Here's the
Followed up by
collector's
Craven.
edition.
We'll do the Sonyverse.
That
We need to do a secret Santa where we just get each other presents we'll hate.
Terrible movie.
Because
Yeah.
then we have the
I'm just
excuse
getting
to do
no.
that.
Madam Web will be done on this at some point.
I wonder, like,
I
Chase,
shouldn't
how
have
does
said
that work?
shit.
You shouldn't have said
If you
anything.
like actual physical media, would you destroy that? Or would you keep it?
No, you keep it.
I'd
You.
keep it.
He would have to add Madam Web to his collection.
You just
So I have movies I don't like.
He has a black label.
I don't
over
know
it.
why.
How do you organize them? Like alphabetical, by genre?
By how
Darling,
much
do you go by alphabetical? Like, so what if like one movie?
Starts
Like,
with
do you
the-
have
This is a different.
Good, the
movie.
bad, the ugly, and a fistful of dollars not together?
I do hate that. I do.
Whoa, oh my god, that's chaotic.
It makes sense, but I hate when they do that in
I-
Netflix and shit.
I alphabetize it by director.
Well, like one of my favorite trilogies is the Apes trilogy, and they're all.
Oh my god, how do you? That's so chaotic.
I know.
I
Alphabet,
have like 4 different.
A B C D.
Ways I
Maybe
do
that's
it.
what we'll do to Kyle. Be like, hey, let's watch Planet of the Apes, but we'll show the Mark Wahlberg one.
We'll show it in
Okay,
alphabetical.
no more talking about any of this. We have to save these because we've got some good ideas brewing.
All
So,
right.
anyways, thanks for
That's it
watching.
from us. I know we've signed
They're
off
gonna make
3
me
times
watch Madam
here,
Web.
but this time for real.
Lord of the
love you.
Rings. This
Stay
is the actual
beautiful.
ending.
We'll catch you soon.
We're not even
Goodbye.
supposed to be here.
It's over now.